Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty sure that you are aware that you can indeed create videos using AI, and there are so many tutorials on YouTube that will tell you on how to do it. But if I can summarize pretty much most videos about that topic, I can tell you that most of the times the way you do it is by just creating the script, maybe using AI, and then you can ask AI to generate some prompts that later can be used to generate visuals like images or some footage using AI, and then you can stitch them together into a video editor. That is a standard way to generate assets using AI, and there is nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that right now, if you have so many videos, let's say if you have a video that is very long and let's say it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then there is a good chance that you're looking at hundreds of different assets on your video. And if you're creating them manually, this will take forever. So it's actually going to be more time consuming than actually editing the video. And that is not fun because it's just a very boring and repetitive task. But we can make it faster. In fact, that's the idea behind AI. We can make it faster. So this is one workflow that will just automate the whole process. You can just create this once, and then later you'll get assets like the illustrations or visuals, and you can even get the voiceover from AI. And by the way, this is one example that I created using AI, and let me give you a quick preview of the video. So this is just a 20-second video. It's not very long.
In our pockets, we carried plastic bricks with tiny screens and rubber buttons. We lived in a fragmented reality. A camera in one hand, an MP3 player in the other, and a phone that did nothing particularly well. But inside a windowless room at Apple's headquarters in Cupertino, a revolution was being born in total secrecy. It was called Project Purple. In our
Okay, so every single asset, every single scene was created using AI, but I didn't do it manually. I just used this workflow using the list node in Freepik Spaces, and basically with this tool, you can save hours, if not days, when you are creating videos. So I'm going to show you how you can create this workflow in Freepik AI, and you can basically bulk automate asset generation quite easily. So first, let's navigate to freepik.com, and you can create an account. And by the way, there is a link in the description if you want to use this tool. Now, after that, you can navigate to a tool called Spaces, and then you can click New Space. So this is quite similar to Comfy UI, but it is not that complicated. It is not like as crazily technical like Comfy UI. This is more or less still very much easy to use. And I'm going to show you how you can create that workflow. So first, I'm going to click this plus button, and basically I'm going to use a simple text node. This is where I'm going to enter my script. So let me just try. Maybe this is the script. I'm going to just put it here. This is a story of SpaceX. I'm going to copy and paste that. Actually, you can create the script right here, but I highly recommend to just create a script using your own language or style, and then you can put that right here in Freepik. Now, this is the first node, and we're not done yet. Let's call this node script. Okay, that will be relevant later. Now, on the next node, we actually have to separate every sentence on this script, because later we need every single sentence to be turned into an image prompt. That's why on my previous example, as you might have noticed, on every sentence or every scene, it will just give you a brand new image. So that's one way. Now, of course, you can also use something like every 2 sentences or every 3 sentences, or perhaps every paragraph. I think every 1 or 2 sentences is actually a good number. It will keep the video to be quite engaging. Now, here you can see there is this text icon. You can click it and then drag it anywhere. And then you want to use a node called assistant. This is the node. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. I'll just copy it. Okay, so sorry about that. That's not what I mean. Oops. sorry, and I want to delete this, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to just paste that, the prompt. Act as a movie producer. I want to generate visual for this video. Your task is to split the script every one sentence. So there are many sentences in this script. So like for example, this is one sentence, this is the second sentence, this is the third, etc. So that you get the idea, right? Now after that, right here you can choose the AI model. I think you can use GPT-5 mini. This is a very simple task, so there is no need to use something that is overly powerful like the Claude model or Gemini 3 model. I think that's kind of overkill, so just use a very small model. Okay, right here, export as a list. That is very important. Export as a list. That's actually the node that will make the whole thing becoming easier to automate, or basically it allows us to do some bulk generation. Okay, so after that, let me check my node first. Okay, yeah, we can start adding a node list. So just click on that text icon, drag it anywhere, and then select list. Okay, so basically the output from this assistant will come to this. Now, after that, after we just added that list, we can yeah, so basically we just separate the sentences, and we still need to create the prompt for each sentence. But let me just rename this first. Let's call this one splitted. Actually, splitted is not grammatically correct, so this is split script. Okay, so every sentence will appear right here later. Now let me just continue. So after that, actually, at this point, it is quite possible to start utilizing a voiceover AI if you want to. So I'm going to click this, drag it anywhere, and I'm going to use voiceover node. And you can choose the model like here. I'm going to be using ElevenLabs. Actually, I will use ElevenLabs version 2. That's actually a lot cheaper. And for the character, I guess I'll just use... Okay, there are many options. Let me try maybe this.
Your journey is a master.
Let's try that. Okay, so there is no script yet, but don't worry, it will appear later when we run the whole workflow. Now, after that, I'm going to add another node. I'm going to start from here, drag it anywhere, and this is going to be another assistant. So let me just select assistant. And here, the task for AI is to generate a prompt for each sentence. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. Okay, sorry about that. This is a small chunk of a script from add script. So this is why earlier I mentioned that I want to rename this node as a script, because it's just becoming easier to call that particular node. So I'm going to just type script. Oh, sorry about that. Let me just redo script. Okay, just click this, and there you go. Now it just connected from here to here. So yeah, that's why it's a good idea to rename your node, although you don't have to do all of them. I just renamed the ones that I think are very important or need to be recalled later. And then your task is to generate an AI image prompt that could be used to create a visual for this particular section of the scene. Okay, so that's the basic prompt, and then I will tell AI about the style. I want the style to be a 2D vector illustration cartoon, I guess. That's good enough. And yeah, please only use medium shot or wide shot. Please also no text. Okay, that's gonna be my prompt. Feel free to use a different prompt or different style. That's really up to you. And for the model, again, I'll just use GPT-5 mini. And the output format is also a list. It has to be a list. And after that, so yeah, we can actually start adding a new list again. So right here, you can click the create a new node, click list, and this is where all the prompts will be stored. So all the prompts that was created by this will be shown right here. And here we can add a new node called image node. So I'm going to click this, and then let's call this one image generator. Okay, for the model, I'll just use Gemini Nano Banana 2. That's the best model at the moment. The aspect ratio is 16:9. The resolution is just 1K. That's totally fine. And for the prompt, generate an image. If Elon Musk, oops, sorry about that, is basically mentioned in the prompt, is mentioned or to some sort of a main character, please use the reference, oh sorry about that, style from. Now this is very important. So I actually have generated a picture of Elon Musk that is matching to this particular style of the video. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click actually assets, and I'll select the picture of Elon Musk right here at media. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to connect it first just to make sure that it is connected. Oh, there you go. And yeah, I just want to clarify that it is from at creation 1, which is the name. Let me just rename it to reference character. There you go. Add reference character. Oops. There you go. Reference character. Okay. And of course, right here, I'm going to add a list of this where everything will be shown. Okay, so I think we are basically done with all of the workflow, all of the nodes. So it's actually not that difficult, right? We just finished that in about 10 minutes or so, and you can repeat this process. You can recreate this over and over again. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm going to add a list again for this voiceover section. Sorry about that, I forgot about this. But yeah, it's as simple as that. So when you're done, if you're quite ready with the whole thing, then you can click this. Let me just verify everything. Export as list, and okay, I think everything looks fine. Yep. Okay, so if you're ready, then you can click the very first node of the workflow, and then you can click the run from here, and well, just wait until finished. It might take for a while because of the amount of nodes that need to be processed, and also it needs to create some images and voiceover, so just be patient. Anyway, I think I'll just skip a while and I'll show you the final result. Okay, so finally it is done, and honestly I wasn't able to use the Gemini Nano Banana 2 model because there is a high demand, but at least I was able to use the Seedream 4.5 model. Not as good as the Nano Banana 2, but again, at least it gets the job done. Now after that, after the assets were generated, you can download them to your computer. For example, this is the image assets, and if you want to download them, you can click on the list node, and then you can click this download button to save them to your computer. Actually, it will be saved into a zip file, so you might want to extract the file first to see or reveal all of the images on the computer. Now after that, you can download the voiceover or the audio files. So this is the list node that contains all of the voiceover. You can click on it, and then you can click the download button right here to save the items to your computer. And after you got the images and the audios, then you can open your favorite video editor. It could be CapCut, Filmora, or Premiere. Now in this case, I have Wondershare Filmora, and I actually have done quick editing based on the items or assets that were generated using the bulk generation, which is the list node in Freepik. And yeah, this is the result. I think the editing here is quite simple. I'm just matching the image with the audio, so it's not fancy editing. I think you get the idea, right? This is just a very basic editing process, just image and then audio, as simple as that. Now let me just give you a quick preview of the video that I just created from that workflow in Freepik. So let me just play the video.
Most people would retire. He tried to buy a rocket from Russia. They laughed at him. So he built his own. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with one insane goal: make humanity multiplanetary. Everyone said it was impossible. The first 3 Falcon 1 launches failed. He had enough money for one final attempt. It worked. SpaceX went on to revolutionize rocketry, land boosters back on drone ships, and cut launch costs by 90%. Failure was never the end. It was just part of the plan.
Okay, that's quite decent. Now, honestly, it's the visual is not as good. There are some errors because, again, I'm not using the best model, but as you can see, I can create dozens of images and even voiceover quite easily and quickly by utilizing that workflow in Freepik. And by the way, if you're planning to use the same workflow again to create a different story with a different character perhaps, then I highly recommend to change the setting in the list node on every single list node in this workflow. So for example, here in the voiceover list node, I want to change the setting to replace items. So the next time I'm using a different script, then this will be basically cleaned up and then it will be replaced with brand new audio or voiceovers. And the same is true for this node as well, for the image and also for the list node for the prompt, the list node for the script. And yeah, there are 4 different list nodes in this workflow at least. So yeah, just make sure that you change the setting from keep items to replace items. And yeah, that's basically it. And again, the link to join Freepik is available in the description down below. And yeah, by the way, YouTube thinks that you are going to like this video somewhere up here. So click on that and I'll see you there.